Hello, welcome back to another video, part 2 of our installation on the 89 through 95 Toyota pickup. We're doing the 92 Toyota pickup, installing the OME CS019R leaf. Part 1, I showed you guys all the stuff that you need, so make sure you guys watch that video if you guys haven't. And also, we went ahead and added the extra leaf, which is optional to this leaf pack. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this installed. I'm not going to show you guys how to jack and support your vehicle. You should know how. If you don't know how, then don't do this job. So go ahead and do all that. Support your vehicle, remove your wheels, remove your brake lines, or not your brake lines, remove your e-brakes, and then remove your shocks. And then after that, we'll get into removing the springs. I'm not going to film any of those steps because those are all pretty easy to do. Once I start digging into the actual leaf spring, we'll dig right into it. So let's get it. Tires are removed. Remove the rear shocks. We're just going to unbolt it from the bottom. Remove your e-brake line right here. And then I also went ahead and took some measurements. So I measured the fender well to the top of the tires, and I'll show you guys all the numbers later. I'm starting on the passenger side because the passenger side is the hardest one because there's a nut over here and it's just gonna be a bit more tricky. So next thing we need to do is, I have it support over here on the frame. I have it support at the pumpkin, and we're gonna go ahead and undo the U-bolts. So I'll probably do the U-bolts first. Yeah, undo the U-bolts, and then we'll move on to the rear shackle, and then the front over here. I'm hoping I don't have to cut this one here. This is the one I'm worried about. Undo your U-bolts. And these U-bolts, we're not gonna be using no more, but we'll keep them for spears. They're good for spears. So if this side goes easy, the other side should be nice and easy. Okay, make sure we don't lose anything. We should have 4 washers, 4 nuts. We are gonna reuse our bump stop, so make sure we keep that. And we are gonna reuse this piece here, so make sure you keep that as well. Don't forget that. That's the shock right there. So the bump stop we'll use, make sure your bump stops are good. I'll probably have to adjust my bump stops in the future. I'm pretty sure I need to make it higher or taller. So these are all the stock. These are the stock U-bolts. U-bolts, square bolts, whatever you want to call them. And you guys can see how they are much shorter in length. They're not, at least, you need at least 8 inch. 8 inch from what I heard. Okay, so these are out of the way. We don't need those anymore. We need that. And now it's time to remove the shocks. They are held by 19 millimeters. Ooh, sketchy. 19 millimeter for these shackles. And I hope this one isn't seized as well. I have a feeling that it might be seized. So hopefully they are not seized, because the rear shackle is not a nut and bolt system. This is a stud that's connected to this back plate. So that's the reason why it's gonna be kind of tricky. And like I said, this is a 30-year-old truck, so these are all original. 200,000 plus mile. The spring here is under pressure. There we go. Jeez, had to fight it out. A little burr right there. So you see how this is? These are probably seized in there. That's what I was worried about, guys. So this is a bushing, and I'm hoping it is not seized in there, especially over here. This one looks like it's seized, man. Oh yeah, I think they're gonna be seized. So you see how this shackle piece here, this is a one piece. You don't take out these bolts. These bolts are in there. Oh man, this is gonna be fun now. So this is what I was worried about. They're definitely seized in there. Yeah, I think it's gonna be seized in there. Oh yeah. The beauty of old school. Okay, let's go do the other one now. The front shackle is a 19 mil, but it's all the way over here. Ugh. You can't also shoot it from this side. I believe you're supposed to loosen from the nut, not from the bolt side. So maybe I'll try to do that and see if that works, but I doubt it. All right, no luck getting the front bolt of the leaf out, so I think we're just gonna go ahead and commit to cutting it. I was able to get the nut out on the driver's side because you can shoot it with the gun, but I wasn't able to get the bolt out as well. So I think both of the fronts are gonna get cut, but I'm worried about the rear right here because I can't get this leaf spring out. We need to salvage this piece here because it's the shackle, and this bushing here needs to come out as well because we have new bushings for it. So let's take a look at the new bushings. So the longer ones, these are the longer ones, and they go up here, guys. So that's where they go. So you can see it's the right length. It's the right length for this piece up here. So we need to clean that out too. But we can't cut this because we need to save that bushing or that shackle. And that's how the shackle is. It's not a bolt system. Or I might just have to cut it and then put a bolt through it instead of this rivet bolt style. So I don't know what people do, but worst case scenario, if I destroy these threads, I'm gonna have to get bolts for this setup here. So I'm gonna try to do some hammering and see if I can get it out, put the nut on the end of that and hammer it out, and then that front over there we'll just sawzall it. All right, this is the fight right here, guys. The rear shackle kind of came out a little bit, but I have the nuts at the end of it. So the top shackle is coming out, but the one that's butt up to the leaf here, it does not want to budge. This is the hard part about the install. Okay everyone, sawzall time. I didn't want to do this, but we'll go ahead and do it. I'll use the bolts. I went to the hardware store this morning and bought some 9/16" bolt. So we'll use that until I order some OEM bolts. I'm gonna take out my real sawzall, one that's not battery operated. Got my big old DeWalt now with the new Diablo 9", which is a bit too long. So if you have one, try and use the shorter one. Alright guys, so I sawzalled it enough, but I didn't sawzall it to get it out, but I started shooting on this side, it broke loose, and I was able to get the nut out on the other side. So I think now I should be able to get this bolt out. It doesn't look like it's seized in there. Yep, there goes the washer. So I think we should be able to get this bolt out now. I didn't cut all the way through, I didn't cut like halfway, but it took some stress out of the relief. Woo, man. Yeah, so I just need to shoot it. Looks like I just need to shoot it out. There we go. So this one is still in pretty good shape, but I sawzalled it already. There we go. It just popped out. So that's the bolt right there. You can see I sawzalled a little bit of it. So if I was able to break that nut loose, I think this bolt would have came out easy, because it doesn't look like it was seized or anything like that. So it is what it is. It's been cut through halfway already. You guys can see that. But this is the bolt that we'll save for reference. I'll order new ones. I'll go ahead and order new ones. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and use those grade 8 9/16 bolts. So go from there. All right, so we got a little bit of out. Let's take a look at the other side. This side almost wants to come out. The bushing looks to be pretty damn good still. Hopefully we didn't damage too much of the hanger here. Hanger looks good. Nice and even. So I think this leaf hanger should come out now from the top end, and then we'll deal with this. We'll deal with this when we get it out. So I'm gonna try to push it out. Let me spray some PB Blaster on it. Like I said, we're gonna have to get rid of these bushing. If I don't get rid of these bushing, I can probably reuse these bushing up here. So we'll see how easy it is to get these bushing out. If it's gonna be hard, then we'll leave those as is. I'm gonna jack this up so we can get it out of the way here. My axle up. Now this side, this bushing here is the one we have to really save. We don't want to destroy these. 30 years of life, man, it's crazy. Let me get a punch, and we'll try to punch it out. Let me get that bolt that we just took out. I'm gonna slide it through here and punch. Hopefully we don't mess up the threads. There we go. It's coming out. Just gotta hold on to it. Oh yeah, those bushings are coming out too. There we go, guys. So these bushings are coming out, which is good. We don't want these Toyota bushings. These are expired, long overdue. All right, so everything came out nice. Sweet. Everything came out pretty good. We'll go ahead and clean this really good when we put the new one in. But man, 30 plus years of life, it's still in good shape actually. So now what we have to worry about, we just need to be able to take this piece out, guys. You see this? We need to be able to take it out from the actual leaf. So I'm gonna take this to the bench right here, the tailgate, and see what we gotta do. Whew. All right, down one. All right, guys, we're cooking bacon. I finally got the hanger out. So I was putting heat over here, and that wasn't working. I had to put heat like that. Once I started doing that, all the rubber started melting, just started spilling out. And now you can see, here it is. So we'll just have to clean that up. Clean that up and then wire brush everything, and it should be good to go. All right, guys, so right now I'm just cleaning it, and I'm basically just using a sharp knife to cut off all the rubber. So cleaning it real quick, cutting all the rubber off as much as possible. We haven't damaged the threads yet. The nut is somewhat damaged. You can't put a socket in it no more. But I'm not worried about that. I have extras. So we're just cutting all this rubber off, and then we'll get everything cleaned up really nice and good. And we'll be able to get at least the passenger side in. And I'm expecting we're gonna have the same issue with the driver's side. If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have went ahead and ordered new shackles, just because I don't mind having new stuff. This is my personal truck. I don't mind having it nice and good. So this was the side that didn't have any issue. And we're just gonna run the I'm gonna put on a wire wheel, wire brush it, and hopefully everything comes out good. Clean it nice and good. And then this section here, we'll put a lot of anti-seize and lubricant. So that's what we're doing. All right, so this piece was the one that I just had to burn off. I got done cleaning the rubber and I noticed that the sleeve is still in here. So this sleeve is part of the original bushing. This needs to come out, because or else the new sleeve won't fit in there. See that? This is the topper sleeve and this just goes in. There's no sleeve for this. This just fits in there nice and snug. So what I'm gonna have to do for this piece here is I'm just gonna take my grinder and just start making a cut around it, and hopefully that can take some stress out and then it'll just pop open. So here we go. This is the beauty of using 30-year-old parts. Like I said, if I knew earlier, I probably would have went ahead and get new one. I might even go ahead and order new ones and install these for now, and then in the future swap these old ones out. But we gotta do what we gotta do. All right guys, I finally got it out. I did a little bit of grinding. This is the sleeve. I did a little bit of grinding, and I also went ahead and used my 20-ton press to press it out. I almost want to replace this bolt with a regular bolt. See, this is a stud, so this gets pressed in there. So I'm debating if I want to change this out and use a regular nut and bolt, so that in the future it'll be easier to remove. But whew, even this main one here, this one's probably not bad. This one didn't have any issue coming out, but this one down here, I went ahead and nipped it a little bit. I'm gonna wire brush this one real quick and see how good those threads are. If those threads aren't damaged, then we'll just go ahead and press this back in. But that's what you gotta do, guys. Crash that piece. We are finally ready to install. Finally took over an hour and a half plus cleaning this out. I did went ahead and reuse this bolt here. We went and pressed it in. I have some energy suspension lubricant grease. We're gonna use that for the inners, and then anti-seize on everything else. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and install this passenger side, and hopefully the driver's side goes in smooth. Woo, man, that was not so fun. Okay, so let's get this down there. Let's get this down there. Okay, so this one already has this one I put the bushing in already. So what's going on here? So this one, that's the wrong one right there. This is my new OEM bolt that I told you guys about. I only have one. The other one, we're gonna use the standard one. So I'm gonna put some grease in here real quick before I put this in there. I went ahead and did this one yesterday already. So this one, I'm gonna put some grease in there. These are for the bottoms. This is some energy suspension lubricant made for just this particular reason, for suspension and stuff. Look how gooey it is, holy smoke. So I'm gonna put this on the inners and then anti-seize on the bolt. This stuff is gooey. It's like freaking, it feels like glue. Definitely good stuff, they say. I don't know if I want to put, I'm gonna put anti-seize for the bolts, guys. So bolts, we'll do anti-seize. And then for the stuff, for other stuff, we'll do this stuff here. So let me get some of this glue on here before I start, because this stuff is This is the stuff you want to use for your shocks, bushing, and stuff like that. Before I learned about this stuff here, I always use, I've been using, before this stuff, I was using a dielectric grease, which is good, but it's not the proper stuff for this stuff. So if you don't have this, you can use dielectric grease, but... Alright, so that's the bottom. And we're gonna take off these gloves because they are just filthy. These right here go on the top of these right here. So I'm gonna put glue in here too. Not glue, lube in here. I'm gonna put some lube in here so later on I don't have to touch it again. Just spin your fingers or something like that. So the first one we want to hook up is this guy here. We want to hook up this baby. So I'm gonna set my anti-seize and stuff over here. Probably gonna go under the fenders, under the mud flaps. Oh, this thing's heavy. Definitely has some weight to it. Oh man, I need to go drop my axle down. I jacked it up earlier because I was wanting it down. Okay, you stay there, don't move. Whew. Pretty fun job when you're in a tight space, guys. We're in a little nice tight space here. The reason why I want to put this OEM bolt over here is because this is the hardest one to access. When I order a new one, I can replace the driver's side much more easier. So just think about the future and just be smart about it. Okay, so that's plenty of anti-seize, but too much. This will right in here. So I need to manpower this. Whew. A little bit harder than I thought. Maybe I'll do the rear shackle. So the rear shackle was, this was the top, this was the bottom. Yeah, let me try to do the rear shackle too. Maybe I could hook up the rear shackle first. The grease is gonna ride on this one here, so we don't really need to put anything here. So this one, this one's gonna ride like this, guys. It's gonna ride like that. And then we need to put new bushings. The new bushings, we need to put that in there. So let me clean it out real quick. And if you guys remember, they say you don't want to grease the outside. So the outside of the bushing, you're not supposed to put grease in there. It's supposed to be nice and flush. So this one doesn't have a lot of grease, just a little bit, which is fine. The inside is pretty clean actually. It's not actually that dirty, so that's good. So you guys can't really see it, but I'm gonna push it in there. It goes in nice and flush, nice and easy. Nice and firm. Okay. Man, I tell you guys, that grease is so tacky. This is that right there. These are the nuts. Man, I think my mud flap's in the way. Is it in the way or something? I feel like my damn mud flap is in the way. God dang it. So freaking heavy. Get in there. Yeah, that's the metal sleeve was out just a little bit and it didn't want to go in. There we go. Now it's going in, guys. So as soon as it goes in, All right, it's in. All right, it's in, guys. Woo! God damn. Okay, so now we put the washer and a nut. Brand new nut, brand new bolt. We're using the washer. We're just gonna loosely tight everything in there. Nothing is gonna be torqued down yet. Woo-wee! Whoa, my gosh. Okay. Now for the rears. The rear is gonna be pretty easy. We just gotta have to line it up like this. Whew. This one's gonna be a little bit hard. It wants to fight a little bit. Too much glue, too much grease. Holy smoke. Too much grease. You guys can see that. Way overkill. Not a big deal. Definitely a workout. I might have to get some C-clamps and new C-clamps because it's a bit tight in there. Alright guys, I have everything loosely in there. I had to slowly tighten it by hand and then get it in there. So everything's loosely tight in there. Nothing's torqued down yet. I wonder if my leaf's gonna have an issue. My leaf's gonna affect the mud flat. I think I just need to scoot it over. So now I just need to align the axle and then put on the new U-bolts. So I'm not gonna film that because I'm just too tired. So I'll show you guys once I'm done. When you go to install your U-bolt and plate, your axle might be a little bit pushed farther, so use the ratchet straps. Put the ratchet straps so you can pull your axle upwards, and then you just have to kick this to get the line it up in the pinhole. So we have it there. I'm gonna go ahead and loosely bolt the U-bolts and all that stuff because I don't want to tie everything down yet when the other side's not ready. So once I have that side done, I'll drop it, let it jump on it for a little bit, and then tighten up everything up. So just go ahead and do that. And like I said, make sure you use you have to use your new U-bolts because the new one. So let me show you the new one, or the old one. So if you were to use your old one, they would be, yeah, if you use your old one, they definitely would be too short. So yeah, you need longer U-bolts. So there you go. Let me go ahead and put this on there. I'm gonna put anti-seize and all that fun stuff on it, and I'll show you guys the aftermath. All right, everything is loosely bolted on. This is bolted loosely bolted. U-bolts loosely bolted. Don't forget your bump stop. E-brake put back on. The shock is loosely bolted as well, and then the rear shackles is loosely bolted as well. I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to the other side, finish that side, and then we'll put the wheels on, drop it, jump on it for a bit, and then we'll torque everything down. So other than that, whew, took about almost 3 hours just to do this side here. That's what it looks like right there. Like I said, right now it's supported. I'll probably put the wheels, the tires on this side just for safety, but man, everything looks super nice. We'll check out the shackle angle once everything's all nice and done. So quick update on the driver's side. I didn't have to cut that bolt over there. I was able to unbolt the nut, and then I was able to take the bolt out. So the bolt is good. We don't have to buy a new one or use something else. So we'll go ahead and salvage that. Right now I'm just fighting the rear shackle, which is giving us the same issue again. So that one up there it's kind of seized up, so I'm working on pounding that out. And then the one that's on the bottom, this one's gonna be seized up for sure, so we're just gonna have to burn it or use the torch, and then probably use the press again to get that bushing out. The metal bushing is probably gonna be stuck in the race bushing is gonna be stuck on the bolt, I bet. So right now I'm just gonna fight with this. I also forgot to mention that for the U-boats, I went ahead and reused the washers that was originally on this truck. The washer that came with those U-boats are a little bit more bigger in diameter, and they didn't really sit flush on the bottom of that U-boat pad. So that's just a little quick tip for y'all. So I'll show you guys the progress in a bit here. Ooh, no filter, guys. I'm not even gonna wash my face. Show you guys the real NuttyNu, how we get down dirty. Just finished the install on this baby. Oh my gosh, the most time consuming is those rear shackles. So if you guys are doing what I'm gonna do, make sure you either prepare for what I did with the shackle. You gotta burn it off with the torch, clean it, prep it, or do yourself a favor, buy some new shackles while you're there, and also buy some new bolts up front, because like I said, we did end up destroying one of them. But other than that, everything went great after that. Install simple, just got done torquing everything, connect your e-brakes, and then you have one main brake line right here. This one is not fully stretched yet, but I will be extending this because when it's under flex or droop, it's gonna, you know, limit out. When I have time, I'm gonna take this off, and there's a rubber company in town that builds rubber and stuff like that, brake lines, and I'm just gonna take it to them. They can build it for super cheap. I'm probably gonna have them measure it out and do like maybe 4-inch longer than what this is right now. I noticed that my shocks, these are the KYB Monomax. These were perfect for my previous setup, the AAL. These can accommodate up to 2 inches, which is perfect if you're running stock leaf pack with AAL. But I think right now our travel is pretty much done. Like, we don't have enough down travel if I was to flex it. So I might have to get new shocks. Just for the time, but for the time being, we're gonna run with this. If I do decide to get new shocks, I'll check out the OME shocks and see what they have for this size. But other than that, it's pretty good. Dry line angle is not bad. Everything looks good right now. And I haven't taken it for a test drive, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean up real quick here. We'll take it for a test drive after 15 miles or so. We'll go ahead and make sure we check the torques and stuff like that, the U-boats, the shackles and stuff like that. Other than that, let me show you guys the measurements before and after. Black Yoda definitely has a rake right now. She's taller in the back, but that's totally fine. That's what I want because I plan to carry this. I plan to carry it with heavy load and stuff like that. So you guys can see there's plenty of room. I bet you if I wanted to run 35s, I can. So before, our measurement was 5 inches and 5/8, and now we are around 8 inches and a half. So 8 and a half, I measured from the bolt right here, just right at this fender well, to the first block of tires. So from here to here, 5 and 5/8 before, and now it's 8 and a half. Now we'll see how it settles after a couple hundred miles. And then on the passenger driver's side, it's half-inch difference because, like I said, the gas tank is over there, so usually there's more weight over there. So before, it was exactly 6 inches from here to the tire block, and now we are at 8 inches. So 2 inches gain over here, and probably 2.5 inches gain on the passenger side. So it's definitely raked up. Apologize for the late night. It's been a late night workshop. Black Yoda is done. She rides really bumpy, which is expected. Definitely stiff and rough, but I don't mind. I'm not here to build a nice Cadillac truck. I like the stiffness. I do believe that she might need some new shocks, maybe something that's about another 2 inch longer than what I have. So I'll have to check the shocks. I'm gonna unbolt it and let it fully droop and see how long of a travel I still have. But there she is, guys. NuttyNu CS19 with the D6XL leaf added, 285, 75, 16, 488 gears, 1.5 inch ball joint spacers up front. She looks amazing. I like it. I like that it's kind of rake, and I'm gonna test out the weight. I'm gonna put about maybe 300 pounds of sandbags in the back of the bed for the time being while we do the break-in period, and let the truck sag a little bit, let it settle, But other than that, man, she is looking good. Like I said, she rides a little bit rough, so if you don't want that, you might want to take out a spring. Right now, I have it empty with my toolbox, probably no more than 100 pounds in there. But there she is, guys. She looks good. I like it. I'll give you guys a update review later down the road, maybe in the next month or so, once she settles in, if I get new shocks or whatever the case may be. The brake line is definitely a replacement. I'm going to extend that brake line that I talked about earlier. But other than that, man, I love it. She looks good. Like I said, installation went good. Just make sure you fight that shackle, and then everything else is easy from there. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. This is part 2 of 2. See you guys next time.